It's very soft and mellow, but there's certainly a devilish background to the whisky.
It's quite a sexy flavour. It's luxurious.
It's a very soft, well-rounded, easy-to-drink whisky, to be honest with you.
I think B&J is just a really clean, good, all-round whisky drinker's whisky.
I think it's very smooth, with a nice little kick.
Say this is amber nectar. It's a lovely wee drink.
The whisky has got a lot of flavour, and it's that maturity that I like, that it's got nice sort of variation there, and that goes on along with, and without being cut off at the end by any sort of fieriness too. And it's a very good whisky to just keep on sipping through for a long period of time.
My customers talk a lot at the best of times, but after a B&J, honestly, they really go to town.
We don't mind what our customers do in it. I mean, we'd be very pleased if they bathed in it, really, because then it would they'd go through a lot of bottles.
Yes, it does. It makes me feel very warm. Loving.
B&J would always help for everybody to have a good laugh together.
We were given a challenge to produce a sausage with whisky, and we thought, well, we'll try various things, but none of them seemed to work. But we tried Bailie Nicol Jarvie, which is a particular favourite of mine, and it just seemed to come together, just the perfect blend, as is the whisky, of course.
You know something? This is a good whisky. It's warming. It goes right to your toes.
Lovely. Bright whisky. There's a lot of malt in that. You can taste there's a lot of malt in it.
I'm normally a malt drinker, and I could go for this, really. Yeah.
Well, I'd be maybe fishing in Loch Ard or somewhere in the Trossachs and take a bottle along with some friends, you know, and I think it would be a perfect sort of, it would be a perfect interlude, you know.
I have, as far as characters go, of B&J was, in fact, my father. And I frequently used to bring him a bottle of B&J. And this is exactly what he used to do with it, time and time again. And it was a kind of, it was nice because he did the same thing time and time again, and it was a wee joke together over B&J. And I would give it to him, kind of wrapped in a bit of tissue, and he would unwrap it, and he knew what it was, and he would look at it, and would go, "Oh, you haven't brought me that bloody poison again, have you? How on earth do you expect me to drink this stuff?" And then he would turn round to my mum, and he would go, "Mary, quick, go and stick that in the back of the cupboard. Don't let anybody near it. If anybody comes in looking for whiskey, give them the rubbish from Tesco's."
I think the sort of characters that would really like this whisky are sophisticated, elegant, fun, a bit like my favourite heroine, Audrey Hepburn, for instance. I could see her and I having a few glasses.
I believe people that drink whisky like to debate it a lot, or debate out with whisky, you know, there's a social content there.
With a bottle in the background, with 2 or 3 people that I really think the world of.
I think you would like to share this with somebody who's got a bit of spirit. A spirit for a spirit, and who's got a bit of get and go.
It's a blend that once people try it, they're often, usually, sort of hooked for for life. I mean.
It loosens off the tongue, let's say.
Wonderful. I do like it.
Well, actually, I think, if I remember rightly, Bailie Nicol Jarvie is a bit of a rogue. I tell you what, I like rogues.
Oh, I think he was a very sort of devilish character.
Who? He's a mysterious man.
Something slightly shady.
It sounds like a friend of William Wallace who went on a year out stockbroking in Singapore.
I think he was some kind of fraudster, wasn't he?
I would say a robust character, a bit like myself and my friends.
Ooh.
I'm thinking big burly Scottish dude with red hair and freckles, you know.
I bet he liked the finer things in life.
I thought he was a guy that sentenced Deacon Brodie to hanging.
I think he's maybe some sort of Clyde shipping magnate.
Little Highlander leading a life of quiet desperation.
It's obviously Scottish.
I thought he was just a crooked toon councillor.
He's a mysterious man.
A solicitor. Edinburgh solicitor. Perfect. If he's not, should be. Great name.
I think Bailie Nicol Jarvie was the person that represented me in my divorce case.
He's probably a romantic person, perhaps a famous lover, poet.
he used to fake paintings.
In fact, yes, I'm free, young and single, so, you know, if he was around now, I'd certainly share a bottle with him.
Traffic wardens, misunderstood poets, possibly. You see them in the street, and they're scribbling away at their notepads, looking up for inspiration like Wordsworth. So we might actually be entering a golden age of poetry, or a golden age of fixed penalties.
Grown men start to veer off wonderful subjects and start talking about the price of food in Sainsbury's. I mean, come on. This is no good. Not for me.
Diets and meat. Would you rather eat a T-bone steak or a chunk of grass?
Well, sorry, Jock, but you know very well that I'm a vegetarian.
I know, and that's what's wrong with you.
I go on what the Prime Minister said.
Yeah, well, that is stupid.
Foolish.
Before we start, let's remind ourselves of the type of guy we're dealing with.
I think most people who have dealt with me think I'm a pretty straight sort of guy, and I am.
Well, we'll be the judge of that.
Well, I mean, while you're talking about vegetarianism, that's why my mother always said I went bald early, because I didn't eat meat, but, you know, that was...
Oh, it could be a few other things that you've overdone, Douglas.
Well, we're not going to go into that.
I do not like broccoli, and I haven't liked it since I was a little kid, and my mother made me eat it, and I'm President of the United States, and I'm not going to eat any more broccoli.
And he's anti all sorts of things to do with our everyday life. The only thing I think we've agreed on of late is that we both like this.
The worst place in the world. I've just come back.
You went to Disneyland?
I've never been anywhere so horrible, ever. No, apart from Wednesbury.
I mean, one of my joys in life is looking around and seeing beautiful things. So I won't be looking at you much, but...
Foreign Office said, could you not rock the boat, because we've got a lot of delicate negotiations about arms sales. I mean, about hostage deals.
I'm sorry, I'm going to be frightfully rude, but...
Yes, you could...
Yes or no?
And I would give you an answer.
Did you threaten to overrule?
I discussed
I think we'll take that as a yes.
Here's to you and your opinions, wrong as they may be.
You happy with that joke?
Yeah. I think I tell very good jokes.
Maybe it's the delivery then that's crap.
Well, not the strongest joke I've ever seen. Well, you did laugh the other day when you
I
told
laughed
me.
about 5 years ago, and a slight little smile. And
You said reality TV.
Yeah.
I'm convinced this is a dream.
What other reality TV show is on at the moment?
Big Brother? Celebrity Big Brother.
Yes,
Celebrity Big Brother.
A
loose definition of the term. In Time Out, you're referred to as TV's Mr. Sex. I shall let the audience laugh to tell its own story.
I'll have you know, it costs a great deal of money to get that in.
I'll ask you money back if I were you.
So it's goodbye from me, and it looks like it could be goodbye from her.
Poppycock.